Hi, everyone, and welcome to Precisely Nowhere. Super excited about this episode, and I'm days away from going to Chicago with my boyfriend to see family and friends and have a couple weeks off from my 9 to 5 corporate job. So I'm stoked, and it's actually my dad's birthday today. So happy birthday to you. By the time this comes out, it will have passed, but shout out to my dad. He is an amazing human being and I love him. And I'm so grateful that I'm his daughter and he's my dad. So, slight tangent, but I will be in Chicago by the time this comes out. I will not have my personal computer with me. So, I'm looking forward to some time to recharge and not be at a computer. I spend a lot of my time at a computer between the pod and my 9 to 5 job. So there are times, as much as I love the pod and my job, that I need to be without devices. And that is exciting to me. Today, we're going to talk about owning your power. I have some things to say about gemstones and lots of great TV recs. So buckle up, enjoy the episode, and I love you all. Okay. So the school year is also starting. My boyfriend is in school right now, so it's top of mind because it's in our household that for some of us, people are going back to school. For others, summer is in full effect. And when we go to stores recently, fall vibes. Halloween, not quite yet, but fall vibes I'm seeing. So we're going to stay in the present today. And I hope today's episode is a reminder to everyone out there listening that it's never too late to start showing up for yourself and owning your power. You can do it at any age, any day, and you have the power to change your circumstances. Your mind is powerful and plays an integral role in your personal successes. I'm a huge believer of that. And it also plays a role in how fulfilled we feel and our overall well being. So, today's episode is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about trusting your power and yourself and remembering that even if we fail or fall, we have the power to try again. It sounds cheesy and cliche, but it's very true. And when you're in those dark moments, when you don't feel your best and things feel like nothing's going your way, is when you really need to hone in and remember these things. And I've been there and thought the worst, but since I've been on my journey of manifesting and being intentional with my thoughts and my actions, I feel like I'm aligned with the universe. My life's not perfect by far, but I do feel like I'm becoming more of an ideal version of myself, which is beautiful to see. And the journey, it has its ups and downs, but nonetheless, it's a great journey. So, acknowledging that there's a lot out of our control in life, and that's scary a lot of days. And there is even more in our control, in my opinion. I don't know if that's a hot take. It's a daily practice to remind myself to own my power, and I'm still taking baby steps some days, strides on others. That's okay. We don't have to jump or leap far. Baby steps are progress. And remember that we're the main character in our one life. I don't mean that in a way that is encouraging narcissistic behavior, but I do think that it's important that we remember that to trust in ourselves, our uniqueness, and take charge, get in the driver's seat to keep the car on course is a metaphor, if that makes sense. I think you're following with me. But I've embraced a growth mindset in the last few years, and I do my best to stay grounded and sane despite the state of the world at large. So I know it's easier said than done, but doable. And I wanted to share a few ways that I own my power in hopes that it'll help you as you're listening, thinking through like, what does that even mean? It can be so personal to all of us. And a few ways that I own my power is through creating content. So, this podcast, paint as much as I would like to, but I have painted some things the last year, I would say, that I'm really proud of. So, I need to actually put them up in my apartment. And interior design. I love interior design. I just talked about in a recent episode how I gave my balcony a makeover and I'm obsessed with it. These activities invigorate me, they energize me, they allow me to be creative, learn more about myself, connect with others, which is something that personally I really enjoy, and become a more ideal version of myself. And doing these things, I'm owning my power and I'm becoming a more ideal version of myself. And that's not to say I don't love the version I am right now, but in doing these things, they're filling my cup up and are impacting my overall well-being. And for me, that is getting me closer to an ideal version. I want to love and live my life and get a lot out of it, not just for me, but in general. So I'm learning to love myself even more. I've always loved myself, but in being real, we all have our moments. I'm human. We're all human. So, a lot of these things are also ways that I play as an adult. So, when I'm not doing my normal 9 to 5 corporate job or wearing one of the other hats I wear, like being a daughter and a girlfriend and a sister and a Dia and a friend, the list can go on. Um, it's how I play. And we're going to talk about play a little later in the episode, very soon. But it's been something that's top of mind because of my corporate 9 to 5 in the best way. Um, so, a few other ways that I own my power are through building culture and giving back to the community, personally and professionally. And I feel like I'm owning my power when I'm doing these things because I am connecting with others and giving my energy to a good cause. And in doing that, I'm filling my cup up. And that is personally for me ways that I own my power. As you can tell, I'm sure we all have our own things that we like to do and how we like to spend our time. So I have been working on a culture committee in my 9 to 5 job. Super excited to bring it to the team. We currently don't have one on one of the teams that I'm on. And I've been working with a few of my coworkers and the summer intern that I've been managing. She's amazing. And it's been a really cool project to work on. I also participated in the week of belonging that my 9 to 5 job has. It was a remote employee focused speed get to know you sessions that I had done previously in one of the other culture committees that I was involved in. And luckily, one of the leaders asked me to help run it. And it was so awesome to see all these people connect. I am remote 100% because I'm far from our closest office. And there are some people at my company that are in the same boat. So it was really cool to feel that camaraderie because we don't always have those moments to connect as remote employees. And that was awesome to just see everyone vibing and bonding. And volunteering earlier this year with the LA fires, due to the LA fires, I volunteered with a nonprofit and that was life changing. It reignited my love and strong desire to be more involved in my community and take action. And I also participated in a Habitat for Humanity event through my 9 to 5. So I love that I get to do these things personally and professionally. I feel more fulfilled as a person, and I'm grateful for the opportunities. I know not all employers offer these opportunities, but it also comes down to us taking advantage of things that are in front of us and remembering what is going to help fill our cup up at the end of the day. Like having to miss a day of work to paint a house, build a fence, not everyone's vibe, but it's for the greater good. And that's where I feel like I'm really owning my power when I'm doing things like that. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about for owning your power is knowledge is power. It's cheesy, but it's true. And it's, I think, a reminder, maybe not for those of you who are listening need, but for the world to hear. Educate yourself, fact check what you hear. Disinformation is hyper prevalent and scary how people see something on Instagram or Facebook and take it as fact. And we need to hold ourselves accountable to stay educated and informed because we've all seen history, and let's stop letting it repeat, of propaganda and people thinking certain things but not taking the due diligence to really fact check and just think about the greater good. Let's stop thinking about ourselves only. I think part of owning your power is it's not just about you. It's like we're all humans on this planet. We'll need to come together a little bit more. I don't want to start preaching, so we are going to talk about play, and this is found on the National Institute for Play's website. I will link to it in the episode description. But there is this fun quiz, and essentially there's different personality play types. I'm going to read something from the website so that you can get a little bit of a gist of what I'm talking about. And I hope you enjoy it. So there's this book called Play by Stuart Brown. He's a doctor, and he argues that while adults tend to be dismissive of play, play has been an important part of all of the significant breakthroughs in sciences, art, and humanities. Innovation, he maintains, requires thinking outside of the box. Thinking outside of the box is one good definition of play. So there is a book, but there is a quiz inspired by the book, and there are different personality types. And I took it. It's very short, so you can take it and it's really quick. But I got the creator. So there's the collector, the competitor, the director, the explorer, the joker, the kinesthete, someone who finds themselves like happiest moving, like part of like dance, swimming, walking, the storyteller. So lots of fun personality types on the Play Personality Quiz page. It'll give you examples of like well-known people that have fallen in the category. And I am going to read you the creator. So for the creator slash artist, joy is found in making things. Painting, printmaking, woodworking, pottery, and sculpture are well-known activities of creator slash artists. But furniture making, knitting, sewing, and gardening are also in their purview. Creator slash artists may show their creations to the world or may never show anyone what they make. Facts. The point is to make something beautiful, something functional, something goofy, or to make something work. The creator slash artist may enjoy taking apart a pump, replacing broken parts, cleaning it, and putting back together a shiny, perfectly working mechanism. Shiny, perfectly working mechanism. Creative play could even mean decorating a room or house. Michelangelo said he could look at a block of marble and see the statue in it. Matisse experimented with many different forms of fine art in his career, from oil paints and pastels to paper cutouts and stained glass windows. Steve Jobs was a supreme creator slash artist. He stood out in the technology industry because he created products with capabilities ahead of their time, packaged in beautiful designs. So, the creative person is inherently at play when they create. Adults who play through creating, like traditional artists who paint, sculpt, or draw, as well as non traditional artists like landscape contractors, model railroad builders, crafters, even aquarium owners. People who delight in imagining new ideas and bringing them to life are all enjoying the play style of creator. I know that is a lot to digest, but I love this quiz and highly recommend you take it yourself. It's fun. I would love to know what play style you got. So please DM me on Instagram and I would love to share that in a future episode. So I will do that if anyone DMs me. And working with an intern this summer has been a good teaching lesson and also a way that I feel like I've been at play. And I want to talk about that. So it's allowed me to slow down and get back to the basics of work life balance because in working with an intern, I'm helping onboard them. I'm also managing some of their work and checking in with them, making sure they're set up for success, just like another new employee, even though we know with internships that time can be limited. I wish it wasn't, but it is. And as I was onboarding her, I was reminding myself like it's important to take breaks. I'm encouraging her to do that. Ask questions. There are no dumb questions. Sometimes it can feel scary or you don't want to ask a question and look like you don't know something, but I think it's important that we feel open to ask questions and have a safe space because not no one should be expected to know everything. I think that's dumb. And keep connecting with people outside of a meeting. I and we encourage our interns to do informationals one-on-one. So I've given her like a list of people to chat up and learn about. And I think it's important that we still do that as adults and still find ways to play. And most days here and there, I do find ways to dabble, but being more conscious of it and top of mind is something that I'm grateful for and looking forward to applying as I go into the rest of this month and the year. And that is play. So think about any ways that you can play in your day. And if you don't know your play style, take this quiz. It'll maybe resonate with you. I'm sure we can all be multiple play styles, but I think it would be a fun way to maybe pick up a new way to play this fall. So, one other thing gemstones. Gemstones are recent, I don't want to say obsession, but I am curious about them. I don't know much about gemstones, but very curious. And this curiosity stemmed from my trip to Seattle. I stumbled upon Solstice Designs, this very cute boutique in Pike Place Market. It's in one of the lower levels, and I was obsessed immediately. I walked out with two necklaces and a bracelet. The bracelet was for my boyfriend, so it wasn't all for me, but loved the store. So I'm going to share what I got and a little bit about the gemstones to give you a vibe, and you can check them out in the episode description. I'll link to the Instagram. They do ship, and a lot of their necklaces, I think they do silver and they do gold. They're gold filled, so you can shower with them. Lifetime warranty. If the chain breaks, you can send it back. They'll fix it, send it back to you. So customer service is on another level that I really appreciate. And Bree was the person who helped me when I was in the store. She was super personable, filled with lots of knowledge. I asked her lots of questions because I was just exploring and I was off work that day. So I was like, I have nowhere else to be but just doing me. And I am so happy with the things that I walked away with. I've worn one of the necklaces every day since and have no plans of taking it off. So the black bracelet I got for my boyfriend is a black tourmaline. There it looks like little, it's like a bracelet, gemstones, little black balls, so it's not like shiny or anything like that, but very neutral. And black tourmaline is known for, and this is according to Solstice Designs, they have these cool little cards that say some of the properties and a gist of the gemstone that I really appreciated because then you can personalize the gift or the thing that you're buying for yourself. And it's not a one for one with anything, but I'm I'm here for these descriptions. Okay, black tourmaline cleanses, transforms, and purifies dense energy into a lighter vibe. A grounding stone clears and balances all chakras and meridians. Forms protective shield around the body. Transmutes negative thought patterns to positive. Aids in understanding of self and others, promoting self confidence and diminished fear. Balances left and right hemispheres. So, not going to go too much into my boyfriend, but he does have anxiety. Obviously, not every day, but it is something that he is a challenge for him and he deals with. And I think this bracelet has been helping him. So, I am drinking the Kool Aid, and I do think that gemstones have properties. Maybe it's a hot take. I'm sure there's people listening that may disagree, but these are my thoughts. I'm free to them and super excited to talk about the next one. One of my necklaces is moldavite, and that one was in a case in the front of the store where there was some rare stones, and I was like, okay, I need to know more about these. So I walked away with one of them, and assists massive transformation, cleansing, and change on all levels. Carries an intense frequency that deeply activates the entire chakra system. Powerfully enhances dream state. I was really here for that one. Should be handled in moderation until one is ready to shed density. Takes you way beyond your limits and boundaries. So that is a lot to process, and I don't wear this one every day. I was advised to not wear it every day. So I'll wear it a few times a week and then take it off and then put it back on. But it's so cute that it's like kind of darker stone and has a gold chain. And Brie cut it a little shorter so I could wear it together with my moonstone or wear them separately. So I really do like that one. And moonstone is the other necklace that I got. So I don't have the card, but I did pull some screenshots from Instagram so you can get a vibe of what the stone is. So it's the stone of new beginnings. The cosmic crystal is strongly connected to the moon and its intuition. It is said to calm overreactions to situations and emotional triggers. This stone is sure to assist you through the hardest transformations in life, and it provides the emotional healing necessary to create healthy new beginnings. So she also mentioned it helping like during like periods, like people at PCOS. So I thought that was really interesting and was here for that. I love it. I'm obsessed. It's a little moonstone and it looks like a donut. It's super cute. Actually, my nephew saw it and was like, "That's a donut." But it's not like in a childish way. It's a vibe. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. So those are my gemstone rants for now. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you check out Solstice Designs. This is not an ad. This is me being a stan and recognizing when I find a good quality thing and not gatekeeping. So you're welcome. TV Rex Got some fun recs for you that are inspired by the theme of owning your power. I have been in that mindset a lot lately and am loving it. And there's a little bit for everyone. So the first show is P Valley. That is on Stars. There are a lot of great shows on Stars, but we're going to focus on P Valley today. There are 2 seasons. So sad it got canceled. I think COVID might have killed it a bit, but it's set on the Pink, which is a popular strip club in Mississippi. It takes place in a fictional town called Chucalissa, and there are a few key players, main characters, a few that are dancers at the Pink, the owner, Uncle Clifford, a lot of female empowerment, a lot of queer empowerment as well. I love Uncle Clifford so much, and he's probably my favorite character. But I digress. There's drama. There's a lot of scenes in a strip club, so it's not a show to watch with children, and is really great cinematography. There's a lot of female directors. The music in it is great, and the stamina and strength it takes these women to do these tricks and in heels and stilettos, I am amazed. So I really love the show. I wish there were more seasons, even though towards the end of season 2, I was like, what's going on? But it is worth a watch. I think I was like, what's going on? Because I had known that there weren't more seasons, and that made me sad. So enjoy it. And the next rec is Carol G. Tomorrow Was Beautiful documentary. That's on Netflix. Follows her along as she's preparing to go on tour for her album Mañana Será Bonita. And that album is fire. So would check that out. And there's a lot of vulnerability that you see on her behalf. She essentially doesn't need to be doing this tour, but is so ambitious that she wants to do it. And you see the dynamic of her with her team, her maybe feeling like she took on a little too much and almost like burnout, but also her being a boss and being so talented and being human. So I resonated with it. I've never been on tour before, but I resonated with the real raw feelings that she was having and that she showed the viewers. So highly recommend. Music is great throughout, so it's a 2-for-1 in my opinion. Survival of the Thickest is the next show. That's on Netflix. That stars Michelle Buteau. She's a comedian and actress, one of my fave people, and it's so good. There are 2 seasons of it so far, and Mavis Beaumont is the name of her character. She's newly single. She finds herself having to rebuild her life as she's a struggling stylist. So it's that comedy drama vibe. Mostly takes place in New York City, but there's some international travel in season 2 to one of my favorite countries. Not gonna give any more spoilers, but highly recommend you check it out. It's such a feel good. I love watching it. Like the style, I mean, all of her front, there's a lot of good things in that show. Loot is the next one. That's on Apple TV and also has 2 seasons so far. Maya Rudolph, another comedian I love and actress, is the main star, and Michaela Antonia J. Rodriguez is from Pose. That is another great show. She is amazing in the show, and I like the dynamic between the 2 characters. I'm only on season 1, so I only have so many spoilers to give, but the story follows Molly Novak, played by Maya Rudolph, as she's divorcing her cheating tech billionaire husband and decides to get involved with the day-to-day running of the charitable foundation she forgot she started. So there's a lot of female empowerment, and it's a good one. That one's comedy drama as well. The next show is Girls. There are 6 seasons of that. That's on HBO Max. I'm actively rewatching it thanks to one of my best friends who started rewatching it and mentioned it, and now I'm hooked and I'm already on season 2. I've watched it fully once, um, and it's set in 2012. So that's an interesting dynamic. Like it's after the housing crisis and the Great Recession. The economy was still recovering. Obama was president. Can we just like think about that for a second? He was president. You know, we were we were on a high. He was dealing with mess, but he was president, and it was different times. I was a sophomore in college at NYU, so it's interesting to be watching it now, having watched it when it was coming out. And Adam Driver's breakout role, in my opinion, is this show. He was an unknown to me before I watched the show. Lena Dunham is one of the creators. Judd Apatow was also heavily involved from a creation standpoint and like production standpoint. So lots of good peeps behind it. And yes, this is a good show. Lena Dunham is one of the main characters. Her name is Hannah. She's an aspiring writer, and it follows her 3 friends in New York trying to make sense of what life has in store for them after college. So they're all going have their own journey, and nothing is perfect. There's a lot of raw, real, relatable for someone who doesn't have a trust fund and someone who went to NYU and can see a lot of different versions of these people. So it's a little bit of Sex in the City vibes meets a little bit more reality, not full reality sometimes, but a little bit more reality. And I love the dynamic between the characters, and it's interesting to see them grow because they go through a lot, and they are really out there, I would say, as people, in how you can see like they're very flawed but also very human. So highly recommend. The last rec for today is The Bull Type. That's a freeform show. Now you can find it on Hulu or Disney Plus. I watched it when it was still available on like freeform. Long live. And there are 5 seasons of that. That one's comedy drama as well. And it's starring Katie Stevens, Aisha D, and Megan Fahy. That's how you say her last name. She was actually in one of the seasons of White Lotus. And it follows 3 friends that are working at a global women's magazine, Scarlet. They're leaning on one another as they're like finding their own voices, figuring out like, is this the path for me? And the drama series was inspired by the life of longtime magazine editor and executive Joanna Coles, who serves as an executive producer on the show. And in real life, she was the editor and former chief content officer of Hearst Magazines. So I just learned that as I was doing some research for this episode. And I think that that's cool that she had this real life experience and then went on to be an executive producer and help build the show, because who would know better than her? So, and there's a character inspired by her in real life in the show. So I love that show. It's so good. There's lots of female bonding, female empowerment. The fashion's on another level. There's good music. There's I mean, lots of hot people. Let's be real. I love a show that has some beautiful people to look at. They don't all need to be perfect, but just, even their personalities are fire. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I love you all so much. I will catch you when I'm back from Chicago, and there will be more episodes this month. It is my birthday month after all, so want to make sure that I come through with the quality content. And I'm super stoked to keep recording, and does that help me own my power? It's so easy, in my opinion, to lose sight of that sometimes, get stuck in the rat race of life and trying to pay our bills and show up for others. And we got to show up for ourselves too. So, friendly reminder to show up for yourself today, tomorrow, and keep listening if you like the content. I hope that you'll have a lovely day. Talk soon.
Music and editing done by Marco. You can find him at midnight, MIDNITE_mind80 on Instagram for more of his work.